What's up, Facebook? This is Noah Dupree, and I'm here with Ian Flannigan out of Dallas, Texas. And I
What's
just
up,
kind of wanted to,
guys? What's up, Facebook?
yeah, I just want to kind of bring Ian in here today, let him share a little bit with you guys. Had the awesome chance to meet Ian in Phoenix, Arizona, a couple weeks ago with me and my dad. We flew out there, um, and man, he was just filled with energy, and I was like, I got to get this guy on camera and let everybody meet him.
Yeah,
Um,
having a good
so
time.
Ian, yeah, man. I don't know if you just want to kind of start and just let everybody know how long you've been in real estate, maybe just a little background information on you.
Yeah, sure, man. I mean, I'm from Dallas, Texas. Born in California, raised in Texas, so I'm definitely a Texas boy, Southern gentleman. I've been in real estate, gosh, I mean, 13, 14, somewhere around there. Definitely over a decade in years, though. Just like a lot of people that find real estate, I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad in the early 2000s. And I realized that I'd been an employee, I'd been self-employed, and I wanted to be able to create income without me having to trade for it, because my past is I was a hairdresser. I was a high level hairdresser, which means I made a lot of money. But when I left the chair, I couldn't earn an income. And that really scared me, thinking about as the older I got, I didn't want to be strapped. And just, reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and then reading the cash flow quadrant, I realized that I needed to get myself into a vehicle, into some other type of business that I could leverage my time. And I didn't want to build hair salons because I don't know, Noah, have you ever tried to herd cats?
No,
Right. So if you've never tried to herd cats, then, I wouldn't recommend it. But that's kind of what hairdressing was like, is herding a bunch of cats. And yeah, you can earn cash flow off of those chairs, but it isn't a business that I really wanted to stay focused on and all that. So, I started buying houses. I came into the business not as a realtor, but actually as an investor. So in mid 2000, I guess around 2005, 2006 is when I started buying and selling real estate. And it's just been, nothing short of a rocket ship and a roller coaster ride ever since. So, even today, I am licensed today. I did get my license several years ago. I bought, renovated, and sold over 100 homes before I ever got a real estate license. So I was very, very familiar with the transactions of real estate. I've raised millions of dollars of private capital. I've held rentals, duplexes. I've done a lot of seller financing for cash flow. So I've done a lot in a short amount of time. And most realtors, they want to get into cash flow, or they want to get into the investing side of the business. And it's really, really hard because, your days are showing buyers, listing houses, and doing that side of the business. So I did get into that side of the business, several years ago. And so, yeah, I'm definitely not a newbie. So I've been in the game for quite some time, and now I have the opportunity to really give back and share with people all over the country. So thanks for asking.
yeah, that's awesome. So we're obviously at the same company, eXp. Both loving it. So would you mind sharing with everybody, really what attracted you, and what did you see in the company that made you make that move?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, being a on the investing side of the business and really trying to build cash flow, it's very difficult because you can build residual income through rental properties, but if you don't have a lot of cash to put down, and you don't have those sources of income or sources of capital like private lending and stuff like that, then you have to go to the traditional route. And very few people build enough income through their rental portfolios to actually live full time on, right?
Yeah.
Because you have taxes, you have insurance, you have property management, you have deferred maintenance, and you always have crazy tenants doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So whenever I saw eXp, there was two components to the company that were unlike anything else. Um, we always say this as realtors, we always tell our clients to basically, why would you rent real estate? You need to buy real estate if you can. Why would you tell your client that? Because if you're renting over the next 10 years, what do you have after 10 years? You have nothing. So if you buy a piece of property over time, you have ownership in that property. You can build equity in that property over time, and you actually have something. You have an asset that you've built over time. And that's what I saw in eXp Realty. I mean, yeah, you can sell houses and you can tap into the technology platforms to sell more real estate, but me coming from the investing side of the business, I realized that I wanted to build assets that could pay me residually. And not only that, going back to the cash flow quadrant with the Robert Kiyosaki Rich Dad Poor Dad book, I saw an opportunity to build assets as an investor and also build a team of agents in the B quadrant. So it was a way that I could leverage my time, leverage my money, because I'm going to sell real estate. I'm going to buy and sell real estate. I'm going to refer, deals to buyers and sellers all across the United States. But also, when I saw the eXp model, it made me realize that, wow, I have the opportunity to build an asset in the company, build ownership in the company. I mean, and now we're on the NASDAQ. We're a publicly traded company. We're basically on Wall Street, right? I mean, how many real estate brokerages across the United States are on Wall Street? There's not. There's a company called Realty that owns a lot of big franchise models, but they don't necessarily. The agents don't have the opportunity. So that's what I saw. I saw the opportunity to own a piece of the company and then also build a revenue share team within the company all across the United States. Basically, I can build my own brokerage underneath the brand. And when I saw that, that's why I jumped on.
Yeah. So you're talking about building this brokerage within a brokerage. How many states are you? How many different markets are you in right now with your agents?
So with my agents, obviously eXp Realty is licensed in 49 states and 4 provinces, Canada. And me personally, I've built a team across 22 states in Canada, up to about 177 agents now. And it's really blown my mind. It's really changed my business because it's allowed me to leverage a team of agents that are closing business. And also, eXp basically pays out revenue share, which is basically as the revenue comes in, they pay a portion of that revenue share directly back out to the agents. So it's been life-changing. 3 years ago, I never could have imagined that my business would have taken this turn. And it's just pretty incredible to be able to have the opportunity to expand across state lines. And not only that, to expand into other countries. So I'm pretty much over the moon about it. So yeah, it's been a great ride.
Yeah, that's awesome. I bet having those other agents in the different markets, we're kind of going through a shift right now. So maybe go over a little bit and share with everybody how you think they can prepare, for the next decade in the business. What kind of changes do they need to make to be prepared for that shift, do you think?
It's kind of tough. The biggest thing that I think about is diversification, being diversified. And that's one of the things, as an investor, as a real estate entrepreneur is, you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. So if you're selling real estate in just one market, and when that real estate market dips, I mean, you're going to feel that heat and that pressure. If you don't have, a portfolio of assets, whether it be, 5 or 10 rental properties or a block of duplexes or a multifamily complex, or maybe a tranche of notes that you built up or bought on the secondary market, or some other type of source of income. Because, the sad statistic with realtors is, half the realtors in the United States earn $48,000 or less per year. And then not only that, 43% of them have no retirement or exit strategy. So if you're thinking about what's going to happen over the next decade, obviously I don't have a crystal ball, but we do know that real estate markets are cyclical. They go up, they go down. And, we had a massively down market from 2007 all the way to around 2012. And that's when it really picked up steam and it went back the other way. And now we're seeing that kind of happen again, right? It's on a 10-year cycle. Every 10 years, the real estate market kind of goes up and down. So, if you don't have a strategy in place to really capitalize on the next down market, and you're just sitting there, competing against all the other agents in your one local market, then it's going to be difficult for you. And that's what eXp has allowed myself, just like you, just like all the other agents, is it allows them diversification in different markets. So, I have a team of agents in Virginia, and they're high producers. And I'm just blessed to be in business with them. But to think about a market like Virginia, if something happens here in my market and other markets are still hot and still doing great, then I have income coming out of other markets. So, one of the things me and my partners do is we take chunks of cash and we buy fourplexes And I would say kind of in the Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama area, because our cash flows are so much higher in those areas. So taking cash and then parking it in other markets that we can buy low and get a really nice yield on our capital. So that's another kind of hedge for, the down market, is having cash flow assets. Because I think all the big guys have said it. Robert Kiyosaki, Warren Buffett, who's the other billionaire that lives in Dallas? Mark Cuban. Cash flow is absolutely king. If you don't build some type of cash flow into your business, then you're really susceptible to those up and down markets. So that's my advice. Diversify, plug into, other assets around the around the country, plug into a company like eXp, expand your business, find ways to expand in other markets. That's the best advice that I could give to anybody, is just diversify and really think about that.
That's awesome. Yeah. And one more thing that I could have you touch on and just share
Sure.
with everybody. So I know we're a cloud brokerage. A lot of people can't wrap their head around that, not being in the office or being around other people. But would you maybe share with everybody just a little bit about how you still surround yourself with all these people at these awesome events that we put on?
Yeah, think about this. It's really tough to understand what a cloud brokerage is until you actually do some due diligence and actually do some research on what the company is and what it offers you as a real estate agent or even a broker. A cloud office is somewhere where we can connect anywhere in the United States and actually anywhere in the world. Obviously you're down in Louisiana, I'm in Texas. If we want to get in our office, we could literally jump off this call and we could be connected, looking at each other face to face as an avatar in the cloud office. So, Glenn Sanford is the brainchild behind eXp Realty. He's the one that really had the vision of, look, we don't need brick and mortar offices to do business, because as a brokerage, the brokerage is there to service the agent. And the agent is the one that's servicing the consumer that's on the ground. So if you're not driving around, meeting with buyers, meeting with sellers, closing transactions, you're not in business. But whenever you need to lean on your company for coaching, training, and support, where do you go to get that? And typically it's a brick and mortar location, but in the cloud, your office is where you are. So if you're on an appointment and you need to get into the office, then you just flip open your laptop or your cell phone and you're in the office. If you drive clear across town and you run into a situation where you need answers, you just basically log into the office. But the cool part about the cloud is the cloud has completely eliminated the need for brick and mortar. So all the agents that were with eXp actually have a Regus suite. So if you need a building to go into, you can find a Regus suite that's close to you in your market, and you can use the business lounges. You can use the Wi-Fi in there, the restrooms, all the facilities. You can drink coffee in there. You can book a conference room for whatever you need. So we have that built into the model to where if you need somewhere to go, we have that provided for you. So, but just the ease of the cloud. But not only that, Glenn really eliminated all the brick and mortar expenses, which allows eXp Realty to basically contribute back the revenue back to the agents. So that's a really different model, considering everything that we've seen over the last kind of 100 years of just a traditional brick and mortar office that all the agents are paying for. Because out of every single closing that an agent does, no matter what company you're with, if you're an independent or if you're with one of the big franchises, Coldwell Banker, Century 21, Remax, you're paying into those brokerages to help keep those buildings, keep the lights on, keep the insurance on, keep the coffee warm. But how many of those agents are actually leveraging that? If you went to your agents and said, hey, would you rather have stock back or revenue share back versus this big, pretty office? I guarantee you every single one of them would say, I want money back rather than the big, pretty office. So
yeah,
there's a lot of different ways to look at it.
Yeah, I think it's really cool looking at it. Like my dad, he was just in Texas and went to Starbucks, set up shop, and taught a class to 200 agents.
Yeah,
on week. And
pretty amazing, isn't it?
Had the office right there in Texas.
Yeah,
it's definitely crazy.
Yeah.
Man, I appreciate you taking the time to share with everybody today. And for anyone who's watching that maybe wants to talk with Ian personally, just shoot me a message, and I'd be happy to connect you guys.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I'm
if
on
you have any
Facebook. I think everybody's on Facebook. So
everybody should be.
everybody
If you're
should
watching
be.
this,
Yeah.
you're on Facebook. Well, man, like I said, thanks again, and everybody
Absolutely.
who watched.
Anytime.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for everybody watching.
All right. Bye,
You guys,
Facebook. Take care.
yeah, y'all have a great day.
No, we'll catch up, buddy.
Yeah, see you soon, man.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.